Let's get started with our first color, which will be peach. So if you have any peach in your art box, grab that. Today we're using markers, but if you have crayons or colored pencils or any other kind of markers, feel free to use that as well. So let's start out with our peach on Super Mario's face. So anywhere we have Super Mario's skin is where we want to use our peach. And I'll start out here right at the nose, on Super Mario's round nose, but feel free to start wherever you'd like. And I'm just going to outline it as I go along. Right above Super Mario's eyes, we will color that in with the peach as well. So just continue to follow along those lines and try to outline it if you want to help you stay within those lines, because we're going to come back later and color in the rest of Super Mario's hat and costume in different colors. So here underneath Mario's mustache, we also have parts of his face, so we can go ahead and color that in with the peach as well. And take your time. Here there's a little tiny spot right between Mario's mustache and mouth, so be careful right in there. And then we want to just color around the rest of the mustache using that light peach or anything similar that you have in your art box. Right around Mario's ear, we'll finish this off, and then we can move on to the next color. Beautiful. So for our second color, let's go ahead and find a pink. So if you have any pink in your art box, let's go ahead and grab that pink, and we want to use it in one spot. It's going to be in Super Mario's mouth where his tongue is. So right underneath this area is tongue, that's his teeth. Let's leave that white and let's use that pink that you have in your hand. Put that right in there. Perfect. Next up, let's go ahead and find the color brown. So if you have any brown, any light brown or dark brown, we want to use this for Super Mario's hair. Underneath Super Mario's hat, we have a few pieces of hair. So right over here by his ear, this is his sideburn. So we want to use our brown, any shade of brown you have in your art box right there. We also want to use it on one more spot right beside Super Mario's ear. There's another little brown spot for his hair we're going to add right in there. Excellent. So we are moving along to our next color. So let's go ahead and start to add some really colorful colors on the page by grabbing red. So let's make the next color red, and we're going to use red in a lot of fun places today. You're going to use it first on Super Mario's hat. So start out at the very top, and let's go ahead and start to use that red. And again, be very careful. I like to outline it as I go. So as you see here, I give it the shape first, and then I like to come back and color it in to make sure I stay within those lines. And what we're going to do is, after we color in the front of Mario's hat, let's jump back up to the top. And up here, we also need to make the top part of Mario's hat red as well. So let's go one part at a time to just make sure we have a nice, neat page at the very end. Beautiful. So let's keep going all the way around, just like that. And now we have the back part of Mario's hat. And now we'll move on to the next part where we'll use our red, which is here on Mario's arm. So this part where Mario is pointing up, the bottom part we'll make red, because as you know, Mario's costume is full of red and blue. So we're going to use those colors on all of his costume. Over here in the middle, we're going to make this little tiny spot right underneath his mouth red as well. And then let's go ahead and color the right arm here with that red again. And we're going to leave those gloves that Super Mario has in white, because those gloves just stay the white color as part of his costume. So let's leave it like that. If you want to get creative, have some fun and use some other colors. If you want to color in the gloves, that would be nice as well. Leave me a comment and let me know what colors you decided to use. Okay, so now we've used red on all of our Super Mario's costume, but we do have the Super Mario logo below it, and a few of the letters are actually red as well. So let's start out with the first word, super. The letter P is going to be in red. So color that in red, just like so. And when you see it at the end, it'll all come together really nicely. Beautiful. Also, for the word Mario, here you have the letter M that's in red. So let's go ahead and color that in red as well. And take your time. Excellent. And once we finish with the red letter M, we can actually start to move on to our next color. So for our next color, let's grab a dark blue. So if you have a dark blue or a regular blue, that'll work just fine. Grab that from your art box, and we're going to use this dark blue on the rest of Mario's costume. So these right here are the suspenders on Mario's costume, and let's make both of them blue. So right over here and right over here. Let's make those both blue. Very nice. And move that on to the next color, which will be a light blue. So the last one was a darker blue. If you only have one shade of blue, that's totally fine. Just use that one blue. But if you have two options, try to use a lighter blue. And we're going to use this blue on a few different areas. The first is going to be on Super Mario's eyes. So Super Mario has bright blue eyes. So with this, we want to use a lighter blue or a brighter blue if you have that. And right in here, we want to be very careful. So take your time. Don't move too fast because you may color into where the white area of Super Mario's eyes are. So once you have Mario's eyes colored in, we're actually going to use this blue on some of the letters as well on Super Mario. The first one is going to be the letter S. So the first letter in the Super Mario logo will be in this same blue. And then once you color that in, we have one more letter, and that's going to be the letter I in the word Mario. So let's go ahead and color in that I, find it on your page, and we'll color that one in together. Great job. You're all doing a terrific job out there. And we can move on to our last two colors. So the first one, let's grab green. So any green you have in your art box, let's go ahead and grab it. And we're actually only going to use green on a few letters in the Super Mario name. The first one is in the word super. Find the letter E and start to color in that E with your green. And as we put more and more colors on the Super Mario logo, you start to see it really pop and have all those colorful effects all together. Now on the word Mario, there's going to actually be two letters. The letter A will be green, and we have one more letter that will be green as well. And that letter will be the letter O. So find the letter O, which is the very last letter in Mario, and we're going to color that in green as well. Beautiful. So now from here, we will move on to our final color together, which is going to be yellow. So any yellow that you have in your art box, grab that. And we're going to use this in a few different areas, okay? The first one is right here. If you see Mario, he's in this circle shape. I want to actually give him a little bit more color in the background. So I want to color that in yellow. So grab your yellow and let's start to color in the areas that are behind Mario, but within that circle. So right over here beside his arm, right here beside his arm on the top, color this in yellow as well. And once we add the yellow, we're really starting to see a beautiful background behind our Mario. And let me know in the comments if there's some other characters you want to see on the channel that are your favorite Mario characters. If it's Luigi, if it's Toad, if it's Princess. Peach, we can always do anything you want to do here on the channel on Sam's Cool Colors. So with that, we're going to save our yellow for the last 3 letters that we have in our Super Mario. So that is, of course, going to be the letter U. Then it's going to be the letter R. And we have one more letter, which is, again, another letter R that is in the word Mario. So be sure to stay within the lines and take your time. Have a fun time with it. And feel free to mix and match the colors as you want. If you don't have a few colors that we have today, you can always substitute for the color that works best for you. That's the fun thing about art and the fun thing about coloring. Beautiful. And so there's one more spot where we're going to use our yellow, and that is actually going to be right in here where you see Super Mario's button. So on his costume, he has those famous yellow buttons. Let's also make that yellow, and that's it. So now we finished coloring in our Super Mario together using 8 colors.